welcome. I'm Anisha Gupta and you're watching Commodity Champions. India is the second largest tea producer in the world and Assam is the single largest tea growing region. But the recent long dry spell since the month of November in Assam and West Bengal is likely to impact the production of premium first flush teas. We are also looking at the prices gaining in the previous year. The exports were up 18% as well. And whether or not we can keep on those numbers, to take that discussion ahead, I am now joined by Mr. Prabir Bhattacharjee. He is Secretary General at Tea Association of India. Mr. Bhattacharjee, hi, thank you so much for joining us. First of all, on the tea availability itself, and while we have seen that the winter rains have almost been negligible, we've also seen an early heat wave this time around. There's an impact or a concern about El Nino going forward as well. How are you reading the weather vagaries and their impact on the tea production?
Thank you very much, Manisha. I think, right at the beginning, you brought out the most, topical subject, in the fact that from November onwards, there has been hardly any rainfall. Now, when you don't have rainfall in the month of November, you don't have rainfall in the month of December, obviously the first flush of the tea gets affected. And kindly remember that the first flush of tea, which extends till April of the year, produces around about 110 to 120 million kgs. Now, with the adverse, with no rain being received in the intervening period of November and December, there is a likelihood of 25% reduction in the crop concern. The only silver lining is there has been certain rain in parts of Assam recently. So let's see, how it affects the crop. But definitely, the crop will be reduced because of the non-receipt of the rain.
And are you, when you say that the crop could be impacted, nearly 25% of crop could be impacted?
Yes, if because of this, non-receipt of the rainfall in the month of November and December, so that is going to affect the first flush.
Mr. Bhattacharjee, last year, if you can call it that, was a better year because we saw an average price increase of 7 rupees per kg. We also saw exports gain up by 18%. One, how are you reading those numbers on an year-on-year basis, and what are the expectations that you're putting out with this season, this year now?
Manisha, you see, so far as the exports are concerned, there's a very interesting fact, which I'll have to bring it to light over there. You see, if you look at the exports that happened in the year 2021 compared to 2022, you'll find out in the year 2021, the total number of the CTC that was exported was 82.87 million kgs. Against that, in the year 2022, we have exported CTC 96.26 million kgs. Compared to that orthodox, there has been remarkable improvement. In the year 2021, we exported orthodox of 79.66 million kg, which has jumped to 98.27. Why I'm bringing this figure to you is to highlight that the importance of the orthodox in the export basket is increasing and it has surpassed CTC. That is the point that I just wanted to bring to the notice of the viewer.
Even with
and so far as the prices are concerned, as you know very well, in the domestic market, the prices of the orthodox, jumped almost 30%. So it became, 271 rupees odd compared to 221 rupees vis-a-vis 2021.
Okay.
In the export market, where the prices of the orthodox was around about 14 or 15 rupees higher compared to 2020.
So would you say that the tea as an industry has seen better margins in the previous year? Would you also expect those kind of numbers to have a repeat performance in this year now?
See, so far as the orthodox is concerned, I think, this trend should continue.
Okay.
So far the orthodox party is concerned. I'll tell you the reason why. And I draw my, sustenance from certain figures. You'll find it out in the year 2019. We exported around about 54 million kgs of orthodox teas to Iran. Now, the Iran exports from India has diminished to almost 20 million kgs in the year 2022.
Okay.
Now, compare this with the increases that we have made in United Arab Republic. From 14.77 million kgs, we have increased it to 37.98 million kgs. Now, this shows that the orthodox trend is going to continue over there.
Okay.
So far the CTC part is concerned, we have a doubt, we have a little, apprehensions on that front, because you'll kindly note that, the tea that is exported or imported by Pakistan is the CTC variety from Kenya. Now, in the year 2022, the amount of tea that was imported by Pakistan from Kenya was less by 40 to 45 million kg. And when it is less by 40 to 45 million kgs of CBC, the Kenyan tea and the Indian tea industry are identical in the sense that they both produce CTC.
Okay.
So there's an apprehension on the front of the CTC, but on the front of the orthodox, it should hold good.
So if we say that the tea prices gained up by 3 to 5% in 2022, are you putting any estimates on what kind of a percentage increase we could see, even if a range for this year?
I'll be a little skeptical on the increase on the CTC prices,
Okay.
because of the reason that I just mentioned about the pressure that the availability of the CTC tea is more in the international market.
All right.
Just because the Pakistan is importing less of the CTC tea, so obviously there is more of CTC tea available in the international market.
Okay.
So what will be the impact on the CTC prices needs to be seen over there. But on the orthodox, one should be reasonably confident that the prices should hold.
All right. I also want to talk about the very definite clarity now that you are looking at small tea producers' numbers continuing to increase and capturing nearly 52 to 54% of market vis-a-vis the larger real estates. Are you looking at these numbers, widening further?
Manisha, I think that the trend would show you in the last couple of years, the percentage, that is being held by the STG is gradually increasing. So there should not be anything contrary to that.
Okay.
This is going to increase in the coming years. So therefore, now what is 52, 52, 53% should be increasing, and we anticipate that. That's very much on the horizon.
What also is your sense on the per capita consumption that we are looking at for the Indian markets right now? I mean, we do understand that it is much lower. 800 grams per capita is what I read the last time. Where do we stand right now? Yeah.
Panisha, you're very correct. And this is an area where even the tea board is putting a lot of emphasis on. They're commissioning methods in which it can be improved and all that. But this is not significantly improved over the years. So it remains 800 plus minus some 10, 20 grams over here. And the internal consumption, unless that increases, please mind it, there was a time when the internal growth or consumption was told to be 3%, which is now touted to be 1.7%, 1.6%. So that is an area of definitely concern, for the internal domestic consumption.
How are you looking at the exports number? I mean, as you said, there are new markets coming in. There are some concerns perhaps from Middle East as well. But with 18% of a base that we've created in the previous year, what is it that you see now for this year?
Manisha, you see, so where the exports are concerned, you will know that in the year 2022, the exports have done much better compared to 2021. In fact, till November figures, that has been released by Tea Board, from January to November, the exports figures show 207 million kgs, which was 176 million kgs in the previous year, that is 2021. So I personally believe, that the export should hold out, in the coming year.
All right. So expectation of stronger exports. Prices may increase for orthodox, not so much for CTC. And as far as the Indian growth consumption is expected, as Mr. Bhattacharjee told us, 1.6% clearly dismal, but that's exactly what he's expecting for this year as well. Mr. Bhattacharjee, as always, thank you so much for joining us and giving us a 360 degrees perspective on the tea industry in India there. But with that, it's time for a short break. But coming up, we shift focus to commodity prices and the fall in the month of Feb amidst an erratic Chinese recovery and the other side.